want to introduce real quick what the love language
Yeah, do that
is. While you die over here. So the 5 love languages was a book put out by a guy named Gary Chapman. He was a counselor, 1992, so quite some time ago. And he had a theory that each person had I'm not going to call it a theory. He had an idea, all right, that each person had a primary and a secondary love language. Those languages, or those love languages, to quote it, all right, were words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. And so he had an idea that people express love one of these 5 ways, and that the key to relationship success was that you have to match, have a partner match and understand their love language, their primary and their secondary. Now, here's the thing. There's no evidence to support this. Nobody challenged it. There's no until 2017, nobody put this to a clinical test at all, or any kind of research. They just assumed that sounds like a great idea. And the reason, of course, it sounds like a great idea, to get right down to it, is because it sets up a transactional sex dynamic, which is what most people in the blue-pilled world will call it, are used to.
Before we dive too deep into your sermon, let's take the quiz so we can get some frame around what it is that this is all about. I've plopped it up here. So we've got couples quiz. They actually have a children's quiz, teens quiz. So I guess singles quiz is the one that I'll take as it's most relevant. Let's get started. I am a male, 45 plus. We're in the United States, let's say. I have not read the damn book. It is more meaningful to me when someone I love sends me a loving note, text, email for no special reason. I hug someone I love. What's more meaningful to me? When I get one of those text messages with like a naughty picture in the morning, or at a time when I'm busy doing something that's important, with like some caption that says, I hope it's not a bad time, but it's like the dirtiest picture. That's more meaningful to me than both of these. But which one of these two would be the closest? I'm going to say somebody sends me a loving note text. All right, we'll go with that. Oh crap! We only hit one, and that was 3%. This might take a few minutes, but bear with us because we're doing research here for you guys.
This is research, live research.
This is live, just for you tonight, and I promise we will entertain you. It is more meaningful to me when I can spend alone time with someone I love, just us. Someone I love does something practical to help me out. See, now we're getting into transactions here, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's more meaningful if there's some transactional stuff going on. Okay, that would be interesting, right? Because if we're talking about the alpha seed side of the equation, this is what the women are going to pick. If we're talking about the beta need, this is what they're going to pick, right? Bingo. All right, so let's go all lovey-dovey. We'll go with the I just love one. Okay, so it's more meaningful to me when someone I love gives me a little gift as a token of our love, of concern for each other, or I get to spend uninterrupted leisure time with those I love.
That one.
I don't know. I kind of like getting woken up in the morning with a BJ. Where's that option?
Yeah,
I think that's that option there.
I think it's number 2, maybe.
Okay, well, I don't know. Let's just click this one and keep going through. So it's a sequence of choose your own adventure. It's more meaningful if then that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Someone I love does something unexpected for me to help me with a project. I can share an innocent touch with someone I love.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So Steve from accounting gets the innocent touch in the broom closet at the office,
right?
Whereas some guy that she's just kind of using for the project at her night school or something that he wants to date her, but she's not that interested. Yeah, that's the first one for that guy.
This is a serious flaw with this quiz system.
Yeah,
it's interesting in concept, and we talked about this, not we like as in you and I, but we as
Yeah.
in a group that I was with around 2014 at a entrepreneurs retreat. Like we actually talked about this in depth, and there was a lot of emphasis put on the reality of this having a better impact on your relationships. This is just, I don't know. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see what else it has. It's more meaningful again. So each question is always the same. Someone I love puts their arm around me in public. Someone I love surprises me with, again, where's the wake me up in the morning with a BJ option? I don't see it there. Okay, so let's go with surprises because that's closer.
So whoever made this quiz up doesn't even know what
clearly
BJs are all about.
Because it would be like someone, it's more meaningful when somebody makes me a sandwich or gives me some skull. Stop being silly on YouTube. Okay. I'm around somebody I love, even if we're not doing anything. I can be comfortable holding my hands, high-fiving, or putting my arm around. Okay, I don't know. I receive a gift from someone I love.
High five. Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
I can do awkward high five. Like
they love me. I receive a gift. So it's about transactions over here. Receiving gifts or receiving attention is what this one's saying.
Yeah.
I sit close to somebody I love. I am complimented by somebody I love for no apparent reason. I get the chance to just hang out with somebody I love. So attention. I unexpectedly get small gifts from someone I love. So stuff. Attention, stuff. Alpha seed, beta need. This is basically what it's starting to boil down to. And I hear someone I love tell me, I'm proud of you. Someone I love helps me with a task. We're only 33 people. Okay.
Do we need to finish this?
I don't think so. Like you guys get the idea. Like we don't need to keep going, right? Let's stop this. Okay.
And here's where, so that's a big like criticism. I have many criticisms of it, but here's one big one. It's what a big fat waste of time. Like if we were to try to go through that entire quiz, okay, we would spend a good portion of this show, about an hour show, going through this quiz. And maybe, it might take somebody an hour to get through this. Here's the problem, though. These are people that are struggling in their relationships. Oftentimes, by the time they reach and pick up this book, it's because things have gone wrong. And they don't have time to waste. And they're putting time and energy into what amounts to very flawed concept. And that's really designed to set men up for failure. Well, men and women both up for failure. I put in our little private chat there because I don't have myself set up to really just throw it in the chat right now. I don't know why, but if you want to, that's just a link to one of the studies. The only study really done in 2017, finally 25 years after the inception of the book. And understand
that you referenced in your video.
And so that study, it was done in 2017. They took 68 couples or 67 couples rather, and they assessed them based on their love language preference, self-regulation, and relationship satisfaction. The results, basically said that there was no correlation between relationship satisfaction and their love language. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. And it boils this down to really what the real thing, if you take nothing else away, is that the real dynamic has nothing to do with someone's love language. It has to do with, or what we should rather appropriately call them, for really being scientific here, preferences, right? I might have a preference for this or that or the other, but it doesn't matter if the person genuinely desires you. And that's the whole point. And we talk about this all the time. When she has genuine burning desire for you and sees you as her best and is pair bonded to you, you could do any one of these things mentioned or none of them at all, and she'll be happy with you. And that's the whole thing. She actually wants, what women want? They want all of these things plus more things. They want it all, but they want it from a guy that they really desire and that they really want. It becomes it just gets it. It becomes a negotiation with guys they've settled with that they don't truly desire. That's the dynamic. And by attacking the problem in this manner, you're setting it up for a transactional relationship. And this is why a lot of marriage counseling fails. There are marriage counselors that hand off this book and say, yeah, you guys get your love languages in order. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because this guy was a counselor and a clinician and I believe a doctor who came up with it. Yeah, no research behind it until 2017. 25 years later, he has so many versions of this book out, for kids 5 languages for kids, for military. I mean, it's
for
whatever.
teens, for couples, like we saw it on the homepage when I landed on it.
Yeah.
Quiz.
Yeah. And it's like, but who cares? I mean, really, who cares? Because you're interested in somebody, you're going to figure out what their preferences are. You don't need a book to tell you that. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't need a book. If I'm really into my chick, I don't need a book to tell me how to pay attention to her and figure out what her preferences are. You know what I mean? But what matters is, does she desire me? Otherwise, because she doesn't, it doesn't matter really what I do. You know, it ends up being a negotiation or a bargain. And
I think that it does accomplish something, though. Like, what it ends up doing is it deals with crappy relationships in such a way where it builds a better beta. Like, if she has a guy that she's not happy with and she wants him to be better, he's still going to be a beta male that she's not going to be that turned on by, but he'll be supplicating her whims and needs that much better.